I simply requested sparkling water. You will be replaced by the end of the day with a male masseuse. How are you doing? My name is A.S Amar, otherwise known as Amar Tate. Today we will be talking about a cautionary tale of Phase 1, and this is Thor. Now, Thor is the story about this alpha male G by the name of Thor Odinson and his beta male father, this pussy Odin, who barely gets any screen time. Odin casts Thor away to conquer and conquest this world. He meets a bitch that he barely knows, Jane Foster, falls in love, which is the least alpha male thing you could do. With that, Thor fights off many threats and stuff, beats the shit out of a couple guys, comes back, slaps around his brother. Bottom G, people will ask you, what problems do you have with this movie as a whole? Instead of being a bitch, let's talk about some of the positives. Because I feel like Asgardians as a race are portrayed perfectly in this movie. There are these prideful, proud conquerors, warriors, and Chris Hemsworth as Thor perfectly portrays the arrogancy of Asgardians, and especially Loki. I think he is the perfect foil to Thor's arrogancy with his jealousy. He's a character that, yeah, sure, you're not gonna exactly get behind his motivations because Thor is the main character. He's the hero. He's the guy who swings it and beats the shit out of stuff. But you understand him because he's not favored in many. I keep focusing on Top G Thor. However, I'm actually gonna go to the next point or the segment on my issues with this film. Now, my issues are actually not with Jane Foster, but it's what she represents. Jane Foster in this film connects Thor to the human side, and that is important. She connects him to humility and lessons and stuff that he's gonna need to develop his character later on in the story. However, with the human side, there are some characters that kind of drag on and are completely fucking boring. Jane Foster's friends are so uninteresting at times that I kind of get dragged away from the plot. And what happens is that Asgard as a nation is less developed, and you have to set it up later on in films for it to, shine. Because we didn't give a fuck about Asgard till Ragnarok. And this shit is just me getting started. Let's just be fucking real with you guys. Asgard has so many fucking prospects that could be, more used. Odin, for a fact, could be more used. Because in these movies, he shows up for 5 minutes. 5 minutes of screen time. His actor gets put on the fucking sidelines, gets told to fuck off, because he only gets paid for 5 minutes. He's a fantastic ass actor. Anthony Hopkins was in Silence of the Lambs. And then we have the most underused aspect. I kind of question every time that I watch this movie, why the fuck these guys were here. Because they show up, they, throw ice and shit, and then they literally get killed off in a fucking instant. Loki says, pops a cap in his ass, and then he gets told to fucking leave. He is a villain in another villain story. Now that I've listed all my grievances, I just want to give a straight up review to you guys. I'm leaning towards either alright or meh, preferably alright, because if I think about this, there are some good aspects to this film, and there are some bad aspects to this film. I think alright fits that middle category, because this movie by no means is art. It's a fun adventure. It's something that you fucking watch on Disney Minus, one bit at a time. You watch the movie, you turn it on, you play it in the fucking back, you do whatever, you have a bitch over, I don't care. Either way, that is the ranking that I give this movie. Would I suggest it to people? Sure. I mean, it's the beginning of the MCU, it's the first Thor film, it's not exactly the worst piece that we've reviewed here. That's my criticism. Anyway, goodbye, thank you guys for watching, see you. I'm realizing